with our garden guy, Charlie Stocker. And everybody wants to talk about tomatoes today, so we have a caller on the line to talk about tomatoes from Uniontown, I think. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you there?
Hello.
There you go. Good
Here
morning.
we go.
Yeah, Charlie, I've got a question for you.
All right.
I put out tomatoes back in May in a potted plant on my patio.
Uh-huh.
Those tomatoes are still alive. I've moved them into my little garage, and they're still making tomatoes.
Wow.
And I'm wondering how long that would happen.
That is a good question. Because you have kept them through. Now, I know people who use their fall garden and they plant tomatoes in that and they have success with it. But in terms of keeping tomatoes this long, I've got to find that out, what the longevity is for them to be productive. That is a good question. And you're still getting tomatoes off of it. That is amazing.
And I wonder if the quality and the quantity of the tomato kind of
Wouldn't
ramps
change.
down. It would not.
The flavor, like you get tomatoes now.
Right. You just don't even bother. Right.
Believe it or not, 80% of the tomatoes that are grown now that you have in the grocery store are grown in Florida.
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And they don't care about the flavor. It's genetic. Mm-hmm. They want a big red tomato that looks good, but the heck with flavor, and that's what you get.
Well, Keely is on the line. Let's see if she has a question about tomatoes.
Morning, Keely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your question?
How old is your dog that's on there with you?
How old? How old? 3 years old. She's 3 years old.
What's his name?
Lily. Her name is Lily.
She's really pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Keely.
She makes sure we walk about 2.5 to 3 miles every day. Don't you, Lil?
She keeps Charlie fit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keely.
Thank you.
How beautiful.
Now, we're going to be talking about starting Lily.
You're fine.
Lily.
She's fine.
We're going to talk about in the next few months, actually a few weeks, about seed starting, because there's so many people who can't find the particular plant that they're looking for. They go through their seed catalogs, they decide what it is they want to grow, and we're going to talk about some real simple non-negotiables. And this is one of the simplest things you can use to start your seeds. This is one non-negotiable in that whatever you use to plant your seeds for the springtime, it has to have a hole in it where the water can drain. That's number one. And you can purchase it, or you can be a frugal gardener and use things like
Reuse these. It's recycle, repurpose, reuse.
Our milk cartons that you cut off the top. The other thing is you need to use sterile soil that is it's for seed starting, but it has to be sterile.
And does it say that on the package?
It says it on the package, because the biggest problem with starting seeds is damping off. And the damping off, if you get the soil from outside and you try to raise it, won't work. You have to have soilless mix that's sterile.
Sterile soil, egg carton, and Charlie Stocker. Yeah. What a combo for the new year. Happy New Year, my friend.
I'll see you next year.
I'll see you next year. We'll be back with more Lifestyles right after this. We'll talk